right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 397 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller, and today I just got a simple question. I'm going to just start off our Monday just like this. Why is Jimmy Garoppolo linked to the Falcons? Who started this and why? And if it's true, what the front office is doing? And we're going to talk about this, and I'm just going to try to keep it as simple as possible for your Monday. Hopefully everything is going well for you guys, and we're just going to, start off that way. If this is your first time here, welcome. This is the First and Frame Rate Show, episode 397. I am VF Baller. Over here we talk about Georgia Southern Atlanta Falcons football and everything under that umbrella. I am on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And thank everybody who's been supporting. I really appreciate it. Numbers have been looking really, really good, especially on the podcast side. People have been, flocking over there to listen. That is really, really cool. But let's go ahead and get into this. Why? What is going on here? We don't have like the best quarterback situation, but we do have some level of vision. And for all intents and purposes, it is some sort of stability. You can talk about Marcus Mariota and his injury issues, but he's been okay for a few years now. And the unknown of Desmond Ridder, that's expected. He's a rookie. Felipe Franks, I don't know. What is he doing? Is he a tight end now? Is he still a quarterback? I don't know. But I don't see where Jimmy Garoppolo is actually going to be tied into this. And there's been rumors out here saying that Jimmy G was offered, the 49ers offered a second and a fifth for Jimmy G. What are we doing here? I mean, don't get me wrong. The gameplay of Jimmy G is not bad. I don't think he's a bad quarterback per se, but it's something that we don't need right now. This is something that is not needed at all. I'd rather go down swinging with the quarterbacks we have before we bring on somebody like this who already has like $100 million contract. So we're going to be, back in the situation with the Matt Ryan situation as far as money. And the only difference is he's 7, 6, 8 years younger or something like that. I mean, my thing is, what are we doing here? If this is true, I don't know what the front office is doing. If not only that, if the rumors are out there that the media is doing this, stop. You know what I mean? I mean, it just makes, I get it. You guys want to try to make some type of, you want to make some type of, story or whatever the case may be. And I get it, but his base salary is $24 million. It was $24 million for 2021. It's 24.2 in 2022, where he's going to be 31 years old. The dead cap space for the 49ers is not the dead cap space, but the cap hit for the 49ers is 26.9. I'm not sure if this is even viable for either side. I understand Trey Lance may be their guy, but at the end of the day, you might want to trade him to somebody. Well, I can see why you want to trade him to somebody, but the Falcons ain't it. The Falcons should have no business dealing with this. Why is he linked to the Falcons? I can understand why some people would say this. Some people don't believe in Mariota. They're still uncertain about Desmond Ridder. And with Jimmy Garoppolo, like I said, the stats aren't bad. It's just that, he seemed like one of those guys that just can't get over the hump. He's been to he hasn't been to 2 Super Bowls. He's been to a Super Bowl, and he was at an NFC Championship game not too long ago. And he actually played pretty decent for the most part. I can't take that away from him overall. He's played decent. He's not elite, but I just think this is a problem that we do not need. We don't need this problem at all. And I'm still trying to figure out why. The Falcons are in a good position to actually groom their quarterback of the future with Desmond Ridder. I just got finished talking about the contract that he signed not too long ago, which is very user-friendly. Well, is front office friendly, and is friendly to Desmond Ridder, to where he knows that there's incentives in lace for him to actually show up and put in work. And it gives him motivation to get that bigger contract, which would come his way if he performs. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, not only just say if he performs, I believe that he's gonna outplay that contract. I just did a video, I just did a podcast episode on this, that he will outplay this contract. The future is set up pretty good for our quarterback situation. If it doesn't work out, we can draft another quarterback. We have Marcus Mariota on the books for 2 years, so even if he doesn't work out, he's still a serviceable backup to come in for a few games, or even a game, or a game, or whatever the case may be. Desmond Ritter's going to have some growing pains. You're not going to know who he is until probably like year 2 or 3, unless if he absolutely stinks it up from day one, you would know exactly who you got. But if he's going through the motions and trying to play up to his ability, you're really not going to know what kind of elite quarterback or type of quarterback you have until the end of year 2 going into year 3. That's just how it is. I mean, unless if you have like this lightning in a bottle where this quarterback just comes out the gate and just start balling. And even then, their ceiling is not done yet. So with that being said, year 3 is probably their full potential. You know what type of quarterback you have. It could work out very well if the Falcons just decide to go ahead and deal with what they have at quarterback. If it doesn't work out, go right back around and decide to draft another quarterback and just continue to go through that till you find one that works. Now, that is very hard because the Falcons have been through this before. We struck gold with Matt Ryan, and 14 years later, we had an elite quarterback on our side. Now we're in the process of doing that over again. Will Desmond Ridder be that guy? I don't think Marcus Mariota will be that guy, but you never know. You don't know what type of situation that a quarterback can have when their career is resurrected. Is it highly unlikely? Absolutely. It's unlikely for Marcus Mariota to turn his career around to be like this top 10, top 15 quarterback. It can happen, but it's very unlikely. But with Desmond Ridder, he still has the chance to actually be something. So with that being said, he should be able to go through the motions and learn the game, learn the speed of the NFL, learn the playbook, learn how the game is played at this level, and then go from there. But to bring Jimmy Garoppolo in, that just throws a wrench into everything. Now you're going to have a situation where Jimmy Garoppolo is going to demand, well, I don't think he's going to demand, but he's going to command some type of way to be on the field. And he has the accolades to prove it. He's done things that these other two quarterbacks haven't done. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's been to an NFC Championship game. He has put up decent numbers. I don't think these numbers are, better than Mariota. I'm going to have to compare the two. I'm not really sure. Could be very similar. Probably Mariota's a little better. But he has that experience and, the numbers to back it up. Like, hey, I don't need to be on the bench for Ridder or Mariota. So it's going to cause problems in the growth of, dare I say, both of our quarterbacks, because Mariota still has a chance to grow. So this is a situation where it could be a disaster. I don't think he should have no reason to be even linked to the Falcons, and I hope the Falcons didn't do anything to try to trade for him. I mean, what are we doing, the second and the fifth? Do you know that you can get some talent in the second round that really could continue to help this team build? Arnold Ebiketie was a second-round pick. I mean, you can get that type of talent at this level, but you're just going to have to figure out how to do it and how, what to look for. But if you lose that second-round pick, it's just not going to happen. You just have to be very careful with what you're doing when it comes to actually, trading for players, because you mean trading for players you don't even need. All right, now I don't want to prolong this too much longer because it's just not really viable at the end of the day. Now, I looked at his stats. His stats aren't bad. His last year's stats was 38-10, or not 38-10, but he threw for 3,810 yards, 20 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. Not too bad. Very similar to Matt Ryan's numbers, but that's just beside the point of it. I mean, it ain't even about the numbers. It's just about the personnel. We don't need this quarterback on our team. I mean, right now, to be honest with you, and I know this may sound kind of crazy, but I don't think we don't need any quarterback on our team right now. We may need another person just for a third stringer, but I don't think we need one. I think we're good with the two we have. I think we're going to be fine. There's also other rumblings about us having a more explosive offense, and just like Dean P said, you want to use 100% of the playbook now. It's an exciting time. The last thing we need is to bring something like this on board. I'm not against it. completely, because if Jimmy Garoppolo can bring, something to the table, I'm not 100% against it, but you got to think about all the things that goes along with it. The salary, the controversy, because you may not think it's none, in the scheme of things, but it will be. You got two quarterbacks that already are set to make things happen for the Falcons. And if he comes in, it's like you got to start all over again. It's not a wise decision even have him linked to the Falcons under this, situation. It's just not a good look. I mean, prior to Desmond Ridder getting drafted, okay, I can see what we're doing. But even then, you still have a salary issue. Instead of you having like a $30-something million, you got a $25 million. Okay, you say it just doesn't make any sense at the end of the day. Before I close, I would just say this: we have it a lot better than we think we do with the Falcons. Yes, it's a lot going on. A lot of young guys are going to have to step up. The quarterback situation is still somewhat of a question mark, but we have a good situation going on. There's no reason to try to disrupt that right now. Mid-season, something don't go right. Maybe you might want to bring a veteran in or whatever the case may be. I get it. But I think we have a good thing going on right now, and it's nothing that I see right now to disrupt that. I mean, I just don't see it. I don't understand why media outlets, some of our own, content creators, some of the national news, which I done told people don't even listen to the national news when it comes to the Falcons. I don't understand why they would do this. It's not that dire. I mean, Matt Ryan is going, it's not that dire. We're not desperate to pick up any quarterback that's available. The Falcons do not need those problems right now. We're good for the most part. We're good. At the end of the day, we are good. So let us do what we do and let things play out the way they're going to play out, because we are on a mission to start from the bottom and move back up. People don't like to hear the word rebuild, and I don't like to hear it either. But at the end of the day, when we look at it, it's somewhat of a rebuild. And to be honest, that's kind of okay. I think we just need to start understanding that it is what it is. It's okay. I just want I'm not even worried about you guys who listen. You guys who listen and watch, y'all understand what time it is. Y'all know when y'all saw this title, y'all kind of knew like, all right, this is some BS. We don't even need to entertain this. And in some cases, some of y'all are probably asking, why did I do an episode on this? But it needs to be said, because this is something that just is not needed. I will be highly, highly surprised if this happened. Highly surprised if this happened. And it made me kind of question a lot of things. It's like, okay, I understand where Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith says they want to have their cake and eat it too. Well, they're trying to rebuild and win at the same time. And when you look at everything in the scheme of things, it looks like that's what they were doing. They're rebuilding, but they got some talent. They're rebuilding, but they're scheming on getting, being really good. I said it earlier, last week. This division is we actually could make something happen with this division. And I'm not joking when I say that. We just have to hunker down and win some games, but it's not that far-fetched. So at the end of the day, this is something that we need to really, think about. Our team is okay. And I'm just not really buying the Jimmy Garoppolo thing. I mean, I just don't see it. A second and a fifth? It could be a step backwards, but at the same time, are the Falcons actually trying to win now? A part of me says that if they do this, it does mean that they want to win now, because Jimmy Garoppolo is not that bad of a quarterback. I just don't think that it's ideal to do so in the scheme of things. But we'll continue to watch. If whatever happens, I'm just going to sit here and be like, it's not a good move, but I'm not going to like it, but I will continue to watch and report on what happens. So that's basically how I'm just going to play that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Because the longer I think about it, now I'm more like at a loss. I'm like, what would actually happen if this actually goes through, or if the rumor is actually real? if the Falcons do get him, I mean, what about, after this episode, the news breaks? What if the news breaks? It's just really weird. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this content, hit the like button. If you like this podcast, share this podcast. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Jimmy Garoppolo to the Falcons. Why are they linked? Is it ideal? Is this something that should happen? What do you guys think? I don't think it is going to happen. I think this shouldn't be an issue. I think we should continue to rebuild with the quarterbacks we have. I think we're good in that position. But the more I think about this, I'm thinking like, all right, what if this do happen? With the receivers and stuff we do have, is it a bad situation from a personnel standpoint? Salary, I think, is suicide. Salary cap wise, I think it's suicide. But we'll have to find out. Let me know what you guys think. I am on YouTube and Rumble, also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Give me a 5-star rating. Hit that like button. Give me some feedback. Good, bad, or indifferent. I do read and try to follow up with everything and try to get better on this show. Hopefully you guys will continue to support. I can't thank you guys enough, that the ones that are already supporting, and let people know what we're doing over here. Share this podcast. Send it to other people. All right, y'all. Y'all guys have a fantastic Monday. I will see you guys on Tuesday with another episode. Whew, man, this is kind of crazy. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy. Y'all be blessed. Peace.